Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept from all of us coming here to learn the language of the noble Quran. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make a sadqa jariyah for our parents and make our children sadqa jariyah for us. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us tawfiq to learn the language of the noble Quran and then teach others. Ameen ya Rabb. I welcome you, my respected sisters, to this lesson 1 of level 2. It is only from the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we have reached up to this level. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us to finish book 1, book 2, book 3, and teach others. Ameen ya Rabb. If all of you are able to listen to me clearly, if the audio is clear, sisters, please give me some feedback so we can start the class. And as you know, if you might have forgotten, the host for you to give your answers and feedback is your answers, please write here. And just once again, a reminder, as you know, that when the class starts, the general chat will be off. So whenever any question is being asked, if I ask you for something and you would like to reply, then you have to select in your chat box the host, which has got the name of your answers, please write here. And inshallah, I'll be able to see your responses. So I'll wait a while you're giving the response about the audio quality. If the audio is clear, then inshallah we'll start the class now. Barakallahu feek, sisters. Alhamdulillah. So we'll start the class now. First of all, now, congratulations to all of you. This is subhanallah, amazing, mashallah. You all are so hardworking. Sisters, from all three groups, not a single sister is there who actually failed the level 1 exam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Each one of you, all of you has cleared level 1 exams and you are in level 2 now. Alhamdulillah. It is only from the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase you in knowledge. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it heavy on your scales of good deeds on Yawm al-Qiyamah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you sadqa jariyah for your parents and for Ulum Academy and all of your teachers. Ameen ya Rab. So today's class is going to be a very, very easy class. But before we start the class, let me welcome some sisters, some new sisters who have joined the course. I've been informed that there are some new sisters who have joined level 2. They have not done level 1 with us before. They perhaps have studied somewhere else, or maybe they've done level 1 a while ago. They took a break and they've joined us again in level 2. I welcome you, my respected sisters. Other sisters are already aware of that, but let me just quickly give you a brief. What happens is after every lesson, you will receive an attendance sheet. You will have to mark your attendance. In order for you to have your certificates, you must have 80% at least attendance in the class. And the class runs on Zoom and class runs on YouTube as well. So you can attend the class anywhere you like. But you must mark your attendance, and it should be 80% for you to be entitled to have a certificate. Second thing, after the class, within 24 hours time, a resource pack will be sent to your groups, which will consist of a couple of things, which includes homework, vocabulary, whatever we are going to see today, inshallah. So notes will be there, some PDFs will be there for you to study and revise whatever we have studied in the class. Recording will be posted as well to your group, but that recording will only be available for 5 days. After 5 days, admins will take the recording off and you will not be able to access that recording. So in case if you didn't understand anything in the class, because of something you had to leave the class, maybe you went away for 5 minutes, you joined a little late, anything you have missed in the class, you don't have to worry. You will be able to catch that within next 5 days, inshallah. And then you will receive after 2 or 3 days one small assignment. It could be a writing assignment or it could be a reading assignment, which will of course be related to your lesson. And then within next 1 or 2 days, you will receive a weekly test. Alhamdulillah, we have weekly test every week. So every week you do the weekly test. It's very, very easy. Multiple choice questions, it's very easy. Idea is not to test you. Idea is just to, inshallah, for all of us to revise our lessons, because when you go through the homework, you do the homework. And by the way, you don't have to send homework to anybody. That's for your own practice. Please don't send this back to admin. So when you do your homework, when you go through the reading or writing assignment, and then you sit your weekly test, it is all the revision of what you have done. And the next week come, you will have another class, and then the same cycle will keep going on and on. In the beginning, the big early classes test paper have got less number of questions because we haven't studied much. As we move along, then the questions will be added from the previous lessons as well. Inshallah, you will see that this will be very, very helpful. And I hope those who are already on this system, those who have done level 1, they can vouch for that how beneficial all of this is. Then we have also, alhamdulillah, Telegram channel. The link will be posted after this class to your groups. So please don't, once again, send message to admin. They will send you a link for Telegram. There are 2 things. One is Telegram channel, where you can see any messages posted by admin, or if I post anything, it will be there. Every Friday, I post a quiz. And during the week as well, there are some quizzes being posted over there. And there's another group on Telegram. You will receive the link for both, which is basically a discussion group. So if you have any question regarding the lesson, you didn't understand a concept, or there's something else going on, you could simply type there. Inshallah, I'll try to answer that. MashaAllah, we have very hardworking sisters on the group. Before I could answer, they are really ready over there, because not possible for me all the time to just keep looking at Telegram and see if there's any question. But there are other sisters who, alhamdulillah, are ready always to help others. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them all. So I think this is enough of this introduction, and we will start the class. Okay, so this is we are going to study pronouns in today's lesson, but this is something we have already studied in level 1, so this should be a problem. And we'll just quickly go through these pronouns. You know what is pronoun? Pronoun, when you are speaking about someone without repeating their name, that is called pronoun. So if you say Muhammad is a doctor, and you don't want to repeat his name, because once you said it, Muhammad, then you should say, if you want to say he is intelligent, he's very pious, he's a student, he's a doctor. You see, I'm using the word he. Fatima is a doctor. I'm not going to say again, Fatima is very intelligent, Fatima is very pious. I'll just keep repeating the pronoun. Fatima is a doctor, she's very intelligent, she's very pious. So this is called pronoun. I hope we all know. Pronouns are of 3 types, as we do it in English: third person, second person, and first person. Third person is the one who is not present. We say he, she, they. You are referring to third person, people who are not present, right? If when you are saying, you're talking to somebody, you're saying you do this, or you are doing that, or you are such a good person, then this is second person. And the person who is talking about himself is a first person. So if I say I am going there, we are doing this, then this is a first person pronoun. I hope it is very, very clear. In Arabic, pronouns are of 2 types. One type is called detached pronoun. Another type is called attached pronoun. So as I just gave an example, when I say huwa tabibun, he is a doctor. Hiya tabibatun, she is a doctor. Anta tabibun, you are a doctor. Anti tabibatun, you are a female doctor. Ana tabibun, I am a doctor. These are detached pronouns. Why we call detached them? Because you see, these are the pronouns huwa, hiya, anta, anti, ana. They are written separately. They are not connected to the next word. They can stand on their own 2 feet, we could say. They don't need anything to lean towards. Whereas the other type of pronoun, which is called attached pronoun, are these who, ha, ka, ki, ya. You cannot write them on their own. They must be attached to the word. So if I want to say his book, how will I say? Kitabu, hu. If I want to say her book, kitabu, ha. If I want to say your book, if I'm speaking to a male, I'll say kitabu, ka. If I'm speaking to a sister, I will say kitabu ki. If I'm talking about my book, I'll say kitabi. So these are the pronouns which are attached with the word. And detached pronouns, as the name suggests, they don't need to be attached. You can write them on their own. So I hope it is clear. One more thing. Now here we say huwa tabibun means he is a doctor. Let's say if I'm not using a pronoun and if I'm saying about, I'm talking about Zaid and say Zaidun tabibun or Zaid is a student, I say Zaidun talibun. So what is Zaid doing? What kind of sentence is that? Who can remind me? We've studied sentences out of two types in Arabic language, right? Noun sentence and verb sentence. Noun sentence is a sentence which starts with a noun. And verb sentence, very easy, it starts with the verb. So what, and there are two pillars of the noun sentence and the two pillars of the verb sentence. Noun sentence pillars, we have seen, what are they? Mubtada and khabar, subject and predicate. What is mubtada? Mubtada is somebody you are talking about. If I say Zaidun tabibun, Zaid is a doctor. Hamidun talibun, Hamid is a doctor. So Zaid and Hamid are mubtada. Zaid and Hamid are our subject. Who are we talking about? Who am I talking about that he is a doctor and he is a student? Zaid and Hamid, right? I'm not talking about Yasir. I'm not talking about Bilal. So my subject, the person I'm talking about, the thing I'm talking about is my mubtada. And whatever information I'm giving to you about them, it is khabar. We have studied that, right? Zaidun tabibun. I said Zaid, and then I said tabib. So what did I say about Zaid? I informed you that Zaid is a doctor. If I say Hamidun talibun, what did I tell you about Hamid? That Hamid is a student. So that is the khabar. Now, when when I say, please pay attention, sisters. When I say Zaydun tabibun, so Zayd is a mubtada, it's a subject, and tabibun is the khabar. Zayd is a doctor, right? Now we said a while ago that pronouns represent the noun. So if I say to you Zayd, anything about Zaid. Zaid is the doctor, and then I say Zaid is very intelligent, Zaid is very hardworking, or I could say he is very intelligent, he is very hardworking. So what is happening is this huwa, which means he, is actually sitting in the chair of Zaid. I could have said Zaidun tabibun, but I'm saying huwa tabibun. So what does it mean? It means that Zaidun tabibun in that sentence, Zaid was mubtada, tabib was the khabar. Here, very simply, we change the word Zaid into huwa because we don't like to repeat the name over and over again. This is how the languages are. So you are using a pronoun, you are using a damir. Pronouns in Arabic are called damir. So this pronoun is right now representing Zaid. Who is Dr. Sisters? Zaidun tabibun, right? I said Zaid, so he's representing Zaid. So in my sentence, Zaidun tabibun, Zaid was mubtada, tabib was the khabar. In this sentence, what is mubtada? Who can tell me? Very simple. Tabib is still there, khabar is still there. Who is mubtada? Who am I talking about? What is the subject? Huwa. And this huwa is who? Is Zaid. Instead of writing his name or speaking about him using his name, I'm using a pronoun. So Zaidun, tabibun, huwa, tabibun, same sentence. In Zaid, we had a proper noun. In huwa tabibun, we have a pronoun. I hope it is clear. Likewise, if I say kitabu bilalin, kitabu hamidin, what kind of sentence is that? What kind of word is that? Sorry. Kitabu bilalin means Bilal's book, right? Sayaratu Zaidin, Zaid's car. Now, if I say that if I already have spoken about Zaid, that Zaid is a doctor, huwa mujtahidun, huwa shahirun, he is very hardworking, he is very famous. And if I want to talk about his book and I say huwa kitabuhu, it is his book. So kitabuhu. So if I can say kitabu Bilalin, kitabu Zaidin, or maybe I can use who instead of using their name because this who means his. Kitabuhu means his book. If I'm talking about Fatima, I will say kitabuha. If I'm talking to a male person, I'll say kitabu ka. If I'm speaking to a sister, I will say kitabu ki. If I'm talking about myself, I'll say kitabi. So I hope you are getting that, sisters. All I'm trying to tell you is one thing now. So what the crux is, these pronouns can be marfu, can be mansoob, can be majroor. Pay attention to, sisters, this. These pronouns can be marfu, can be mansoob, can be majroor. Likewise, the proper nouns. So to revise this slide, if I say Zaidun tabibun, Zaid is a mubtada, and mubtada is always marfu, right? But if I say instead of taking Zayd's name, huwa tabibun, so what is huwa doing? Where is huwa sitting? Huwa is a pronoun sitting in the chair of mubtada. We know mubtada is always marfu, so we'll say huwa is a mubtada and it is marfu, and tabib is the khabar. Somebody may say, okay, but we have studied that marfu will always have a dhamma or dhammatain. Muhammadun, Zaydun, at-talibu, as-sayyaratu. But here I don't see any dhamma. Why? So for this, we have seen our bite-sized video in level 1, and we know that there are some words which are called mabni, which are called fixed. They don't change the way they look. They always stay the way they are. You remember we had the story of Brother Zaid and Brother Ali. Brother Ali was working in a company. MashaAllah, wealthy brother. He had so many clothes. Wherever he will go, he will have a different attire. He go to work, he will be in his work clothes. When he go to play some sports, he will be wearing some sports kit. When he's going to some party, he's wearing a different clothing. So he has got different appearance, different clothing for different roles. When he goes to bed, he's wearing his pajamas, right? On the other hand, we had Brother Ali. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on both of our brothers. Brother Ali is running a small grocery shop in a village. He doesn't have much wealth. He has only got one pair of clothes. He go to a walima in the same clothes. He attends his shop every day in the same clothes. If he goes somewhere else to play, or if he goes somewhere else to do something else, he will still wear the same clothes. So they both have different roles. They both go to work. They both like sports. They both go and attend the parties. They both, of course, go to bed to sleep. But one will change every time according to what they are doing. Other will not be changing, other will look the same way. So the one who is changeable is called Mu'rab. It is called non-fixed, like Hamid, Muhammad, Zaid, all of these proper nouns. But the ones which cannot change, in that category, there are a few type of words, but Damair pronouns are among them. So this huwa will always like this. Hiya will always like this. Look, anta tabibun. Anta is marfu, but there is no dhamma. So I hope you are clear that all the pronouns, all of these detached pronouns always come and sit in the chair of mubtada and they are marfu. On the other hand, these detached pronouns, they can be mansoob or they can be majroor. We have not studied mansoob, so we'll not go into the detail, but we do know majroor. So if I say kitabu Bilalin, kitab is mudaf, right? And Bilalin is what? Bilalin is mudaf ilayh. And mudaf ilayh is always majroor. When I say Bilalin, Kitabu Bilalin, Qalamu Muhammadin, Sayyaratu Zaydin, Baytu Khalidin. So what is happening to all of these names? Khalidin, Muhammadin, Zaydin, Bilalin, they are all majroor because they have kasra. Now, if I don't want to repeat the name of Muhammad or Bilal, I will say Kitabuhu. If I don't want to repeat the name of Fatima, I'll say Kitabuha. So this who and ha, which chair they are sitting? They are sitting in the chair of mudafile. And what is the Arab of mudafile? Mudafile is always majroor. Mudafile is always majroor. One may say, but this who, I can see a dhamma. And a while ago, we discussed that marfu is always known by dhamma. How it is dhamma and then you are telling it is majroor. So I gave you the explanation a while ago that damair pronouns, they are fixed. Their shakal, their form, their shape will always remain same. Does not matter which role they are playing, right? So I hope it is clear. And if there's any difficulty, inshallah, in coming lessons, things will get more and more clear. So let's open the books, chapter number 12. I hope with this explanation, what was just done, it will become a very breeze. This lesson will be very, very easy. And anyways, in the past lesson, we have discussed in, I think, chapter 10, where there was a dialogue between males. So the pronouns were used was for males. Now in this chapter, it's a dialogue, it's a discussion among females. So the pronouns will be used for females. So basically, you will have practice for the female pronoun now. For the male pronoun, you've already done your practice. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive the sins of late Dr. Abdul Rahim. He, subhanallah, has done so much good for the ummah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannatul Firdaus. I hope all of you are aware that the author of this book has passed away a very short while ago. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive his sins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him Jannatul Firdaus. A beautiful work. Lots and lots of people have benefited from his work. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it heavy on his scales of good deeds on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Ameen. So let's start the lesson. So lesson number 12. This is a dialogue between few female. So Su'ad is saying Assalamu alayki wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You see, Assalamu alayka is used if the two males talking, but here alayki. Someone may say, but we usually say Assalamu alaykum. Why is that? Kum and ki. Kum is used for plural. Ki is used for singular. So you can say, if you are speaking to a sister, you could say Assalamu alayki wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Or you could say Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you say kum, then you are giving them respect. So you're making them like a plurality, saying Assalamu alaykum. And you could say Assalamu alayki. Both are correct, but grammatically speaking, if you're speaking to a single person, you are allowed to say Assalamu alayki wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Likewise, if you're speaking to a brother, you can say Assalamu alayka, right? So al-bint means the daughter is replying wa alayki salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So you see this ki is an attached pronoun. What kind of pronoun is ki, sisters? Attached. How do we know it is attached? Because it is connected with the word. It is connected with the word. What does it mean? You, one female. Assalamu alayki. Su'ad is speaking to another girl. Assalamu alayki. Right? If it was a brother, what do we say? As I just told you, ka. If you're speaking to brother Muhammad or Zaid, what will you say? Assalamu alayka wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You will use this kaf with the fatha. But here is for the feminine, so kaf has got a kasara, right? This is the list of the pronouns on the left hand side. These are the attached pronouns. You see, ka is for male. Ki, as you can see here, is for female. What is the equivalent of ka and ki if you are using detached pronouns? It says, who can tell me? It's given here. It's very, very easy. Anta is for you, one male. Anti is for you, one male. So moving forward, she said, Kaifa haluki, ya binti. How are you, O daughter? So the answer is, Ana bi khairin walhamdulillah. I am good and alhamdulillah. Here, with is given because we are trying to do word-to-word translation. So because we are all students, when we go back to the book, we want to know everything. We want to learn and we want to understand what is given in the text. If I do a translation here, which is a spoken English, then I will say, I'm good. And how are you? So you may say, I'm saying I am good. So what is the translation for this letter ba? This ba, by the way, is harf jar, right? Khair is for good. What is this ba doing here? There's no translation if I don't use the word with. So I've just used the word with so that you can find that the word-to-word translation is there. Any word you want to find the translation for that, you are able to understand that, inshallah. Then question is, min aina anti? From where are you? Anti, you see this time anti. What kind of pronoun is that? Detached pronoun. We have just seen anti means you. What is the transition? From where are you? From where are you? This is also running a word-to-word transition. From where are you? Usually in English, you say, where are you from? You don't say from where are you, but here we are doing word-to-word transition, so you can easily identify which word translates into what. Ana min al-Riyadi. Ana min al-Riyadi. I am from Riyadh. So anti, you see, it's a detached pronoun here. As you can see, this arrow is coming. We already discussed this. Ana min al-Riyadi. I am from Riyadh. Now we have a sentence. I would like to see if you remember things or not. How will I pronounce it? Ma ismuki or masmuki? If you think I should say ma ismuki, I should pronounce this hamzatul wasl, which is before the sin. This one here, then please press 1. If you think I should say masmuki, I should not pronounce this hamzatul wasl, then press 2. Press 1 if you think I should say ma ismuki. Press 2 if you think I should say masmuki. Very good. Well done, sisters. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. You are doing your revision very well. We'll say masmuki. Why? Because this is Hamzatul Wasl. And we have studied that Hamzatul Wasl, when it is sandwiched between two words, then Hamzatul Wasl will not be pronounced. It will only stay there in writing. You will not say ma ismuki. You'll say masmuki. Masmuki, right? And we know Hamza are of two types, Hamzatul Wasl and Hamzatul Qat. What is Hamzatul Qat? We'll see that in 1 minute. What is Hamzatul Qatl? I'll show you what is Hamzatul Qatl just as a reminder. But this one is Hamzatul Wasl. Look, Hamzatul Wasl will either have a small sword drawn on this. As you can see, there's a small sword on this alif, or there'll be nothing. Whereas Hamzatul Qat will have a neck of ain drawn on that. So look, ana, when you see this ana, the beginning alif is called Hamzatul Qat. Why? Because there's a small ain, neck of ain has been drawn. This neck of ain could be at the top of this alif or could be at the bottom, depending on if it's a fatha or if it's a kasra. This is just a repetition. I hope you all remember that. So, Masmuki, what is your name? So, the other person saying, Ismi Aminatu. My name is Amina. Now, this ya, which kind of pronoun is that? Ism means name. As the translation you can see, Ismi, my name. So, what do you think, sisters? What kind of pronoun is this ya? Ismi, my name. Detached pronoun or attached pronoun? Very good. It is a attached pronoun. Ismi Aminatu. My name is Amina. And then, where is your father? Aina abuki. Abuki. What kind of pronoun is this one? Abuki, your father. This is detached pronoun or attached pronoun? This is attached pronoun. Here we have ki. Kaf with the kasra is for the feminine. We've seen that before as well here. Haluki, abuki, kalamuki, baitiki, baituki. I hope it is clear. So then she's answering, Abi huna fil Madinatil Munawwarati. My dad is here in Madinah Munawwar. So you see, my, once again, this ya mutakallim. This ya, by the way, is called ya'ul mutakallim. If you can remember, it's fine. If you cannot, then you can just for now say ya of the first person. So I'm talking about myself. Abi, my dad. Kitabi, my book. Baiti, my house. So Abi huna fil Madinatil Munawwara. My dad is here in Madinah Munawwara. هو موجهه في المدرسة الثانوية. He is an administrator in secondary school. وأين أمك? And where is your mother? هي أيضا هنا. She is also here. هي طبيبة في مستشفى الولادة. She is a doctor in a maternity hospital. Now, word fi, we know fi is a harf jar. And the word which comes after harf jar, what is the Arab of that word, sisters? Who can tell me? When you see ila, min, fi, ala, all of these are harf jar, right? When the next word comes after that, what is that word? Arab is majrur. So I say fil masjid, di, kasra. Minal bayti, from the house, right? Alal maktabi, on the desk. But here I said fi mustashfa. I didn't say fi mustashfi. Why? I did not say fi mustashfi. If it was masjid, I will say fi masjidin or fil masjidi, fil bayti, fil jaybi, fil kitabi, fil sayyarati. But I did not say fi mustashfi. I said mustashfa. Why? Just touch upon that and we'll leave. We'll not spend too much time. This is a special kind of a word. When the words are ending on alif, they do not accept any vowel sign. Alif. Is this alif? I can see it is a ya. This is right. But this is a special kind of alif. We will discuss that alif, inshallah, in future lessons. But alif can be written like this, as we say alif in al-wilada or al-munawwara. You see alif is coming in the beginning. This is the one way of writing alif. Another way of writing alif is like that. It is drawn like you are writing a ya, but there are no dots under it. And another sign, another alama for you to understand that this is alif is that the vowel sign just before this will always be a fatha. So this is fi mustashfa. You see the word Isa, Musa. So what is ending? What is the last letter of Musa and Isa? That is called Alif. And the name of that Alif is called Alif al-Maqsura. If you don't remember, if you can't remember, don't worry about it. It will come inshallah in future lessons. I just wanted to touch upon you so you get something when you hear these kind of things, and when they actually come in the lesson, you don't find yourself totally alien to that concept, and you have some idea about that, right? So just remember, this is what is the, if I ask you what's the Arab of mustashfa, it is majroor. Why? Because there's a harf jar before that. But why I cannot see any kasra? Because this is a special type of word, because it is ending on alif. Anytime the letter will end on alif, you will not be able to see kasra. I'll give you one more example and we'll move. If I say Huwa fil Hindi, or let's say Zaidun fil Hindi. Zaid is from India. So Zaid is our mubtada and it's marfu. We can see Zaidun, fi is harf jar, and al Hindi is ism majrur, because we say kasra is at the end of the word on dal. There's a kasra fil Hindi. But what if Zaid is from America? If I say Zaidun, or Zaid is in America, sorry. The earlier was he is in Zaid fil Hindi, Zaid is in India. Now I'm saying Zaid is in America. How will I say? Zaidun fi America. What happened? Ka. I'm ending on alif, so there's no way I can put a kasra and say fi Amerikai. There's no way you can say that in Arabic. So every time the word will end on alif, you will not see any marfu, mansub, or majroor. In other words, you will not see any dhamma, fatha, or kasra. Your eyes cannot see, but your mind can see. Your mind will know that there's a harf jar before that. So this word is majroor. There should be a kasra, but alif is a letter which do not accept any haraka. Hence, you are not able to see any haraka. Now, this is true with the alif, which is in America, which is like this alif, al-Madinah, al-Munawwara. So you see this alif is long line drawn. This is alif, and this is also alif, which is written like a ya. I hope it is clear. Inshallah, in future lessons, we will discuss these things in details. Don't worry about that. So then, وَمَنْ هَذَا الْفَتَاةُ الَّتِي مَعَكِ, and who is this young girl who is with you? أَهِيَ أُخْتُكِ, is she your sister? So now there are a couple of new things here. As I said to you before, sisters, as well, we are not here to learn just the translation. It's very easy, translation, translation, translation. But what's the point when these words will come in the Quran? When you're reading a book of Sunnah, if you're reading another Arabic book, you come across these words and you're not able to understand that, right? Translation means that you have to memorize everything. You need to memorize every single word and the translation. But learning the subject is that once you learn some particular words, some particular things, then every time you will see that, you will simply just know the meaning of that without even translating it in your mind, right? Sisters, remember, the best way to learn is to teach. If you want to make your learning strong, then please teach them. Whatever you study in the lesson, teach someone, maybe your family members, maybe your friends. And if you don't find anybody, teach your wall next to you, table in front of you. Speak to the table, speak to the wall. What happens is basically when you're teaching to somebody, of course, when what you hear in the class, you're not going to remember the words I'm using, but you will have a concept in your mind. But when you are teaching it to somebody else, what's going to happen is you will say all those things in your own words. And when your mind is going through the process of describing the lesson or describing the concept to somebody else using your own words, you are basically hardwiring that information. Basically, that information is going into your hard drive. I hope it is making sense. Try that and you will see how strong you are in a subject when you try to teach to somebody. Okay, so here allati, we have studied the word allati before, haven't we? Alladhi and allati, right? It means who. We'll see that in detail in today's lesson, so don't worry about this. And ma is a verb. Ma is an adverb, like tahta, fawqa. What is adverb? Adverb is something which indicates time or place, but it does not give it a boundary to it. It does not really make it fixed. If I say, I will meet you after Salatul Zuhr, I'll meet you before Salatul Fajr. So I'm not telling you after 5 minutes or after half an hour, before 10 minutes or before 1 hour. I'm just giving you an idea of the time. If I say he's standing in front of the masjid, he's sitting under the tree. Now, in front of the masjid, maybe he's just 1 feet away from the masjid, maybe he's 10 feet away from the masjid, still he is in front. If I say he's sitting under the tree, maybe he's sitting right under the tree, maybe he's sitting a little bit on the side. So these are called adverbs. In Arabic, it's called zarf. So they give you an idea of time and place, but they don't make a boundary to around it. So you are not 100% fixated on where exactly or when exactly. So this is just gives you an idea. So ma'a means with. So and we know that the word which comes after zarf is always mudaf ilayh. So we say amam al masjid. You can never say amam al masjida. By the way, I'm not talking about the imam here, the one who leads the salah. I'm saying amam. Amam means in front. Amam al masjidi. Tahta shajarati, under the tree. You can never say tahta shajarata or tahta shajaratu. So ma'a is zarf. Ma means with. And the word which is coming after ma is mudaf ilayh, and mudaf ilayh is always majroor. So we say ma'aki is mudaf ilayh. However, this kasra is not showing the jar because this ki will always be ki. So ma is the zarf. This pronoun is sitting in the chair of mudaf ilayh. This is just happened in this case that this is kasra there, but this kasra is there. It's always there with this pronoun. So instead of sister, if it was with the male, you say ma'aka. So kaf has got a fatha. But what's the Arab of the ka in that case? In that case as well, that is mudaf ilay. In that case as well, it is mudaf ilay, and that is majroor. But because the pronouns are fixed, they don't change their shakal, they don't change their appearance. Hence, you will not be able to see them and define them, whether they are marfu, mansub, or majroor. Your eyes will not be able to see that. Your mind will be able to see that. Moving forward, ahiya ukhtuki, is she your sister? So she's saying la, hiya bintu ammi, no, she is daughter of my uncle. Masmuha, here. So awalan, here, what kind of pronouns here? Here is a detached pronoun, so it is written separately. Here, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mercy on Shaykh Abdul Rahim. You see how beautifully he is designed. Here he came up with here, which is a detached pronoun. The answer and the next question is coming is Masmuha, what is her name? Now this ha is also representing the third person. Third person she, but because this time this pronoun is connected to the word, we are using the attached pronoun. What is the attached pronoun for her? Ha. And how do we say she? We say here. So they both are same. We're talking about the third person who is a feminine, but at one place we are using a detached pronoun, other place we are using a attached pronoun. In English as well, the translation is different. Her, what is her name? And who is she? You see, you're talking about the same gender, same single person who is a female, but once you are using the word she, other time you're using the word her. Her book. Oh, but if you want to ask about her, you will say, who is she, right? I hope it is clear. Oh, what is her name? So then the answer is coming at Ismuha Fatima. Her name is Fatima. Fatimatu or Fatimatun? Can I say Fatimatun? Who thinks I can say Fatimatun? Please press 1. If you think I cannot say Fatimatun, press 2. If it because it was a brother, I'll say Ismuhu Zaidun. Why I'm not saying Ismuha Fatimatun? If you think I can say Fatimatun, press 1. If you think I cannot say Fatimatun, I must say Fatimatu, please press 2. Very good. Why? Because feminine names do not accept tanween. You can never say Fatimatun, Zainabun, Khadijatun. No, you will always say with the single haraka, Fatimatu, Khadijatu, Maryamu. Whereas for the male names, you can use tanween. Zaidun, Hamidun, Hamidin, Hamidan, Zaidan, Zaidun, right? So then the answer is coming. So this was basically ha, which meant her. And we have seen who is used for male. So ismuhu, his name. Ismuha, her name. So then the question is being asked, ahiya zamilatuki? Is she your class fellow or a colleague? So the word zamilun is actually the word. But when you make a, if you talk about the feminine, you say zamilatun, you put ita marbuta. We know that, right? And then is this key is mudaf ilayh, which is connected to the zamilatuki. So when you join this kaf, Now, what you need to understand is when you are attaching a pronoun, when you're using attached pronoun with the word which is ending on ta marbuta, what is ta marbuta? This round ta like this, then this ta will open up. You can't say zamilatun and then attach the kaf because this ta is called closed. Ta is closed. You cannot join another word. So if you want to join another letter to it, you must open that ta and you make it zamilatu ki, zamilatu ki. I hope it is clear. We have done all of these before, sisters. It's just a repetition and nothing else. So the answer is la. Ana fil madrasati al mutawassitati wa hiya fil madrasati thanawiyati. No, I'm in the middle school and she is in secondary school. So then the question is being asked, alaki ukhtun, is for you a sister? It's strange to translate like that in English. In English, you will say, do you have a sister? But once again, if I say, do you have a sister? You may ask, okay, what is the translation for do here? What is the Arabic word for do? I will not have any answer because there is no answer. This is why we do word to word translation to understand that what is the actual word in Arabic which means that. Because when you translate the Quran in any language, you will miss out on the meaning. You will not have 100% meaning coming because that's just a translation. And that translation depends on the language you are translating. If you're translating something in English, the translator will follow the structure of English language. If somebody is translating in French, they will follow the structure of French. Somebody is doing it in German, they will follow the structure of German language. Hence, you will miss out on the meaning of the Quran. We have said that before as well. And we'll do it in future lessons, inshallah, more examples where you will be. Right now, I don't want to go in there and because lesson is still, we have to do quite of a lesson and we are still in the text at the moment. But you will see when you make the translation, you see some very important points. You will lose the meaning in the translation. Hence, we are doing this course. So I hope it is clear that the exact word to word translation is for you a sister, which in a spoken English, of course, means do you have a sister? So the answer is la mali ukhtun. No, not for me a sister. Alaki akhun is for you a brother. Then the answer is naam. Yes. Li akhun kabirun. I have a big brother. Wa huwa talibun bil jami'ati. And he is a student in the university. And the next sentence, waman hadha al-tiflu alladhi ma'aki. See, now alladhi is coming. Previously, you seen allati was there. Why alladhi? Because now this is about the tifl. Tifl is a young boy, right? It's not about girl. If it was bint, then it would become allati. Now, huwa bin akh. He is son of my brother. He is son of my brother. Masmuhu. You see now the who is coming and the huwa is coming. Huwa is a detached pronoun, means he, and for him, we have seen in the previous slide, masmu ha, attached pronoun ha was used. Now attached pronoun who is being used. Masmuhu, what is his name? Ismuhu Sa'adun. Ismuhu Sa'adun. His name is Sa'ad. Remember, in Arabic names, Su'ad is a feminine name and Sa'ad is a masculine name. Ummuki fil bayt al-ana. You see this who is coming? This who is attached pronoun. Ismuhu Sa'adun. Ummuki fil bayt al-ana. Is your mother in the house right now? La. ذهبت إلى المستشفى. No, she went to the hospital. ذهبت إلى المستشفى. What kind of sentence is that? It is a verb sentence. Why? Because beginning with the verb. ذهب is the verb, which means he went. But now, because it's a female, you're talking about the mother, so you will always add this ta when you are talking about female. So you will attach this ta to your verb when you are talking about female. ذهبت, she went. كتبت, she wrote. أكلت, she ate. خرجت, she left. But if it was a male, you will say kharaja, he left. Kataba, he wrote. Akala, he ate. Dhahaba, he went. I hope it is clear. We will do that in detail, inshallah. Don't worry. And then we have this exercise here. Iqra waktuba. I told you before that, sisters, as well. These exercises are very, very important because they're not asking you to answer the question. They're asking you to write. So what's going to happen is when you will write these things, your fingers will also memorize things. Things will become very easy. So when you write here, you should be able to know from what we have studied earlier that when you were asking your father, how are you? What are you going to say, haluka or haluki, sisters? Press 1 if you think haluka to your father. If you're asking him, how are you, oh my dad? And press haluki if you think this is correct, then press 2. Haluka, press 1. Haluki, press 2. Very good, haluka, because you're talking to your father, is male. What will happen if you're speaking to your mother? Kaifa haluka or kaifa haluki? Common sense. Kaifa haluki ya ummi? How are you, oh my mother? Right? And then when you're asking Zainab, sorry, Aina ibnuka ya Zainab or Aina ibnuki ya Zainab, what will you do with this kafir? Your, but you're talking to Zainab. You will say ki, you will not say ka, correct? And look, Zahaba ilal masjidi. He went to the masjid. There's no Zahabat. Why not? Because you're talking about the son of Zainab. So son of Zainab is masculine. So we did not say Zahabat, we say Zahaba. But in the previous slide, it was about Zainab herself. So we say is Zahabat. Here it's not Zahabat, it's Zahaba, because here we are talking about the son, not the daughter, not the feminine. And one more example, and this become more clear. Aina bintuki ya Amina. Where is your daughter, O Amina? Look at the answer. Zahabat ilal madrasati. She went to the school. She went to the school. Before it was about the son, so Zahaba. He went. But here it is about the feminine, so dhahabat, she went. So simply speaking, remember, when the verb is like that, dhahaba, it means he went. When this ta is added, you will simply add the word she with that action. Dhahaba, he went. Dhahabat, she went. Kharaja, he left. Kharajat, she left. Kataba, he wrote. Katabat, she wrote. I hope it is clear. And then it's the same thing. The pronouns are being repeated. For who is this beautiful watch? Is it for you, O Fatima? Yes, it is for me. So, here laki. It cannot be laka. But instead of Fatima, if it was Muhammad, they'll say ahiya laka ya Muhammad. Don't be confused with here. Why is this here coming when I'm talking about Muhammad? Because this here is about this watch. Here, is it for you, O Fatima? What are we talking about? We're talking about this watch, because we say, for who is this beautiful watch? Now we are not repeating the proper noun again and again. Now we are using pronoun. Instead of using sa'a, instead of using the word watch, we are using the pronoun here. I hope we all know that in Arabic, things can also be masculine and feminine. So al-bayt is a house. When you say in terms of the pronouns, you will say huwa, bayt. But if you talk about the car, you will say here. Why? Because car is ending on ta marbuta. So car is a feminine word. So if your word is masculine, then you will use a masculine pronoun with that. If your word is feminine, then you will use a feminine pronoun with that. So al-qalam, you will say huwa. But as-sayyaratu, you will use here. Al-baytu, you will say huwa. Al-haqibatu, you will say here. Why? Because haqibatu is ending on ta marbut. I hope it is clear. So this is the same thing. Again, ahada qalamuka ya Muhammad. You see, before that we had qalamuki. Now we have qalamuka. Why? Because now we are talking to a brother. You can't say ahada qalamuki ya Muhammad. But if you're speaking to Fatima, you will say ahada qalamuki ya Fatima. So now Muhammad is saying, La hada qalamuka anta. No, this is your pen. This is your pen. Why is anta coming in the end here? This is coming for talkie. This is coming for emphasis. You see, in English, you will not be able to understand what is it. In English, you will say, this pen, this is your pen, yours. You didn't get anything. But if you're listening, I will say, this is your pen, yours. This is your house, yours. This is your mistake, yours. You see, now in my tone, you can see the emphasis is there. But in the writing, if you look at the sentence, no, this is your pen, yours, you will not understand. You may think there's something else after yours and it is not written here. You see, sisters, in Arabic, there's something called tawqid. Emphasis is being used. But in translation, you will not be able to find that emphasis. But when you're reading the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing on something, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding us something. In English, you will not be able to understand the intensity of the ayah. you will just get a simple translation and that's it. Sometimes you'll be able to understand fully the meaning. Sometimes you will understand the meaning just on the surface level. I hope it is clear. We'll do these examples from the Quran, inshallah, in future lessons. So تلك السيارة الجميلة التي خرجت الآن من المدرسة للمدير. That beautiful car, the one which left from the school right now, is for the teacher. We have done this الذي and التي before, I believe. الذي, we have seen in the previous example, when you're using the word الذي, if you are using it for the masculine, you will use alladhi. If you're using for feminine, you will use allati. In English, they both will be translated as which, right? We'll do these things in coming lessons. Don't worry about it. Anta muhandisun ya akhi. Are you an engineer, oh brother? Oh, my brother, basically, should be La ana tabibun. No, I'm a doctor. Anta tabibatun ya ukhti. Are you a doctor, oh my sister? La ana mudarrisatun. No, I am a teacher. Now, in this one, the next exercise, read the following sentences and read them again after changing second person from male to female as shown in the example. Very simple. I hope we will have no difficulty. I'll leave it for you to do it in your own time. I'll just do one example here because we've just done this in the previous exercise. Aina qalamuka ya abi? Where is your pen, oh my father? So is it qalamuka? Why? Because you're talking to a father. What will you say to your mother? Aina qalamu ki ya ummi? Aina qalamu ki? Where is your pen, oh my mother? Why? Same sentence. Why qalamuka in the first one and qalamuki in the second one? Because first one we were talking to a male, qalamuka. Second, you are talking to a female, qalamuki. So the exercise begins, عندك قلم, عندك قلم يا Muhammad, indaka. Why? Because you're talking to Muhammad, so you will use the pronoun which is suitable for masculine. But if you are using the same sentence for a sister, feminine, always say عندك قلم يا آمنة, right? So in your book, this is given like that. This is given in the masculine form. All you have to do is to change it into feminine. أين بيتك يا أستاذي? Where is your house, O teacher? But now you want to speak to your female teacher. What will say? أين بيتك يا أستاذتي? أهذا الدفتر لك يا علي? Is this notebook for you, O Ali? But now we were speaking to Fatima, asking the same question. هذا الدفتر لك يا فاطمة. So the difference is laka become laki. I hope it is clear. All the transitions are given here. You can do it in your time. I don't want to delay the class, elongate it, and then otherwise sisters will have problems. But however, let me tell you one thing, sisters. I have to finish the book in a given time. We don't want to come here we come here to learn and enjoy the learning. But what we don't want to do is that we finish our book 1 in 5 years. Do we want that, sisters? If you want that, press 1. If you want to really finish book 1 in its normal time and then move to book 2 and book 3 and able to understand the Quran, able to teach others, then we have to do things at least 1 chapter a day for this book. 1 chapter per class. And another thing is you have a recording anyways going to you. So in case if it's a salah time, if you have another lesson, something else came up, you have another appointment and 1 hour is coming to an end, no problem. Quietly leave the class. You don't even need to tell in the chat box that, oh, I have to go. Simply leave. Because you will be getting a recording posted to your group after the lesson. So whatever you have missed, you can replay it and learn from there. Right? I hope you are getting this. So we need to finish the book. And I can very quickly, instead of what we have done, those were 12 sentences in the text. I could have done it in maybe 2 minutes, but I just didn't want that. I wanted you to understand. And hence we keep repeating things over and over and over again. So it gets hammered and you understand things well. So I hope you will forgive me for the elongation of the class. I try my level best to finish the class in time, but sometimes material is too much and I have to cover it. And I don't want to make it a translation course only. I want you to be able to actually understand that. So coming back to this slide, how many type of words we have studied? We have studied there are 3 type of words in Arabic language. Ism, which means noun, fa'il, which means verb, and harf, which is the particle. Ism, what's the definition of ism? What's the definition of noun? Definition of noun is a word which gives you its meaning. You hear the word and you understand the meaning. So if I say house, a student, Hamid, Zaid, cat, car, watch. You understood the meaning, right? But if I speak to you about the verb and I say he wrote, he left, she ate, she broke, he prayed, they went, what's happening? You are getting the information. You know what I'm talking about, what is writing, what is leaving, what is eating. But there's another thing. There are two things with that here, right? In this particular verb, you see there are two things. You are getting the meaning, plus you are getting to know who is doing that. So there are two things. Verb has got the time and it has got an actor as well, who is doing that. Whereas in the noun, you only get the meaning, but there is no time. If I say a book, has the book got a past tense or a present tense or future tense? If I say Zaid, am I saying Zaid in the past tense or present tense or future tense? No. But when I say he wrote, you understand the meaning is writing. But when this writing was happening in past, if I say he will write, again, you know the meaning. Writing, what is writing? You know the meaning of writing. But when is this action going to happen? Has it happened in past? No, I say he will write. So it means in the future. If I say he is eating, you know what is eating, right? But now I'm telling you he is eating. So you are getting a time frame attached to that. The time is that this is being done now, right? So I hope you understand that the nouns will not have a time frame, whereas the verb will show you when this action was done or is going to be done or is being done right now. So for example, if we see, because we are in the early stage, verbs, we have not done many. Now we are starting to do the verbs. So let's start with this one. So when you see the word kataba, kharaja, what does it mean? It means kataba means he wrote, kharaja means he left, right? So this is verb. So verb has got two things, action and the doer. And the third thing is, because obviously when we say verb, we understand that there will be some kind of tense attached to that, past tense, present tense, or future tense. But verbs will have this verb, you can see, has got an action, which is the writing, and the doer, which is he. Kharaja, once again, action of leaving, and he is the doer. Who can tell me, we've studied a while ago, if instead of he wrote, if there was a sister who was writing, I'm going to say she wrote, what will I do with this verb? How will I make some changes that will change the meaning from he to she? We will add ta. We will add ta with the sukun zahabat. We have done the example, right? That ta is called ta of feminine. Ta tanis. When every time you attach to that to a verb, it will tell you that the doer is a feminine. But we will do that in future lessons, so don't worry about it. So we have seen this type of sentences. There are two, noun sentence and verb sentence. Sentence which begins with the noun is called noun sentence. Al-Tabib is the noun. Al-Kitab is the noun. Yasir is the noun. You see, when I say the doctor, the book, Yasir, there's no past, present, future, nothing, right? So this is a noun. So the example could be Al-Baytu Qaribun, the house is near. Yasirun Ghaniyun, Yasir is rich. But we know that. We don't really need to go into detail of that. Then we have sentence which begins with the verb kharaja, he left, dhaba, he went, kataba, he wrote. So these are all actions. So the sentence which begins with the action with the verb is called verb sentence. Examples: kataba zaidun, zaid wrote; dhahaba hamidun, hamid went. But if you say only kataba, then you will translate as he wrote. Zahaba, he went. Because now, but if you have a name of the doer written in front of you, then you will not say he wrote Zaid or he went Hamid. You don't, because you see, in the previous verb, when you see here kataba and kharaja, you don't see the doer. Your eyes cannot see the doer, but your mind can see the doer. The doer is not written here. In this verb kataba, there's no doer written, but you can know, and you know that the translation he wrote, so he is there somewhere hidden here. But here, when you say kataba Zaidun, now your eyes can see Zaid wrote. So why do you want to tie your mind thinking, oh, he wrote, and then you are saying Zaid? Am I making sense? Do you understand? So when you have the name of the doer available in front of you, then you don't have to say he wrote Zaid, he went Hamid. Yeah, you will simply say Zaid wrote, Hamid went. But if the name of the doer is not given, only then you will say he, right? I hope it is clear. So there are two pillars of verb sentence. We've studied in past the two pillars of noun sentence, mubtada and khabar. What are the two pillars of verb sentence? When we say pillar, it means it must be there. If it is not there, then the sentence will not be there. If there's a table and table has got four legs, right? Those are like pillars to the table. If you take those legs off, if you take two legs off the table, is that table a table now? No, it's not table, it's something else. It's not a table, right? Do you understand where I'm coming from? If you have a four wheel under a thing, it is called a car. If you take one wheel off, what will become? Either it will become something else or it will become something which is called rickshaw or tuk-tuk. Yeah. If you take one more wheel off, is it a rickshaw or tuk-tuk? No, it has become a bicycle, right? So you take the wheel off, you take the pillar off, it may turn into something else or it may turn into something which is of no use, no meaning. For example, if I take two legs off the table, then that table is of no use, right? So verb sentence must have two pillars. What are those pillars? فعل and فاعل. Action and the doer of the action. So kataba zaidun, what is the action? Kataba is the action of writing. Who is the doer? Zaidun. But if I just say kataba, what is happening? Kataba, the action is there. Where's the doer? Since no action can exist without a doer, so we will say in kataba, he is the writer. He wrote, but he is hidden. Our eyes cannot see, but our mind can see. See, how is this possible to have something in existence and there is nobody who has done that? Some of the people, some of the silly people, morons, ahmaq, they say the world come into existence on its own. Subhanallah. How is this possible that nobody created this world? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created everything. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guided us to Islam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Okay, so here are some examples. ذهب حامد إلى المدرسة. Hamid went to the school. If I want to say about Fatima, we'll say ذهبت فاطمة إلى المدرسة. Same policy here, same thinking here. Alone we say ذهب, it means he went. But when the Hamid, the name is mentioned, we say ذهب حامد, Hamid went to the school. If it was only ذهبت ilal madrasati, we will say she went to the school. But now the name of the doer is given. So why do we have to tire our mind and say, oh, she left, and then say, oh, she left. Oh, no, not she. Fatima left. We say Fatima went to the school. So what is this ta called? This ta is called ta of feminine or ta of female. In Arabic, it is called ta tanith. Dhahaba Aliyun il masjidi. Ali went to the masjid. How will we say for Zainab? Dhahabat زينب إلى المسجد. ياسر ذهب ياسر إلى السوق. Yasir went to the market. If it is Khadija doing the action of going to the market, how will we say ذهبت خديجة إلى السوق. So what do we learn from here is just one simple thing. When the male is doing the action, you will not attach the ta or tanis. But if the female is doing the action, you will attach ta or tanith. I hope it is clear, my respected sisters. You see, this is ta'utanis. This ta has been added to this verb which was not available in dhahaba. I hope it is clear. One more. So here is one more box coming ta, right? So these are some exercises. What you have to do is make the doer, the fa'il of the verb of the action into feminine in all following sentences. Very easy. One example is giving. Kharaja Muhammadun min al-bayti. Muhammad left from the house. So how will I say for Fatima? Kharajat Aminatu. Kharajat, I will come with this ta with the sukun. This is called ta'ut tanis. Kharajat Aminatu min al-bayti. Fatima left the school. And one more thing, we've discussed that before as well. Muhammadun tanween, because masculine name. Can I say Aminatun? No, I don't even need to ask this to you sisters that can I say Aminatun, because we just discussed a while ago, feminine names will not accept tanween. So Kharaja Muhammadun, but for Amina we'll say Kharajat Amina too. Now Dhahaba Abi ila Dhahaba al-Mudarrisu ila al-Fasli. How will I say about the female teacher? Who can tell me? What changes will I make? I'll make two changes, right? Because here it is male teacher went to the school. If I want to say female teacher, what will I say? I will use the ta, dhahabat, and al-mudarrisu is the teacher. But if I want to say the female teacher, I will simply add a ta marbuta to make it female. You remember we've studied before, salihun, a pious male. Salihatun, a pious female. Abidun, a male worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you want to talk about the female doing female worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, abidatun. Aqilun, a wise man. How will you say about a female? Aqilatun. Mujtahidun, hardworking man. But if you want to talk about a female who is hardworking, mujtahidatun. So you simply add tamaduta. So here, ذهب المدرس إلى الفصل, but here we'll say ذهبت because now we are talking about المدرسة, the female teacher. ذهب أبي إلى المستشفى. My father went to the hospital. How will you say about your mother? ذهبت أمي إلى المستشفى. جلس الطالب في الفصل. جلس means to sit. The student sat in the classroom. How will you say about the female student? جلست الطالبة في الفصل. جلست. But you see, what did I say here? I said جلست and then I stopped. I gave a pause. Listen to me once again. How am I reading this sentence? جلست الطالبة في الفصل. Is there a comma? Is there a full stop? Why did I say جلست الطالبة? Because I don't have a choice. Ta has got a sukun. جلست. And الطالبة, lam has got a sukun. You see, المدرسة, الطالبة. This lam has got sukun. So it is called iltaqai sakin and meeting of two sukun. If two sukuns are meeting, then you cannot pronounce. For example, if I have a word meme and there's a sukun on that, so this is the position going to be. I want to join it with the next word, but I cannot because this meme do not have a kasara fatha damma. If there's a haraka, then I may say ma, mi, mu, and then continue with the word. But if there's a sukun, then my tongue is tied. I cannot open my mouth because what does the harakat do? Fatha moves the sound up. Mim fatha, ma. Kasra brings the sound down. Mim kasra, mi. Dhamma moves the sound around. Mim dhamma, mu. Ma, mi, mu. But if there's a sukun, as in, I'm stuck. I can't say anything. So what to do? Shall I say jalasat at-talibatu fil fasli? This is wrong because there's no comma, no full stop. Why am I breaking the sentence? Can I say she went to the hospital? You see, I can't say he liked to play cricket. You cannot have a break between the sentence because if it's a sentence, there's a continuity. So what's the solution? The solution is you put a kasra. You will find that in the Quran. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on our scholars. I hope, sisters, you know, when the Quran was revealed, there was no tashkil, there was no fatha dhamma kasra. This was done by later scholars because Quran was revealed to Arabs. They knew their language. They knew there were no dots as well. They knew which dot, which word is what without even looking at the dots or without even looking at the haraka. When the non-Arabs entered into the fold of Islam, then there was a mushkila. People did not know Arabic language and they were finding it difficult. Like when we start learning Arabic and we don't have any haraka, fatha, dhamma, kasra, we don't know how will we say baitun, beetun, talibun, or talabun. What do we say? But then gradually we learn and we realize. But in the Quran, you cannot just make an error and correct it and learn it in 10 years' time and and keep reciting the Quran in the wrong way for the 10 years. So the ulama, they have, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on them, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them Jannatul Firdaus, Ajmain, Ameen. They put the tashkil, they put the haraka. So now when you will open the Musaf, why I'm telling you this, when you'll open the Musaf, you will not find a situation where there's a sukoon on one letter and another is sukoon and you don't know what to do. They have put the haraka according to the rules of grammar, according to the rules of Arabic language. So you simply recite it, you even don't know what is happening. So, but in the books, you will not find this. So now you have a situation, jalasat at-talibatu. What's the solution? You put a kasra, you say jalasatit talibatu, because if there's a kasra on the ta, then this ta can be joined with this ta. But if otherwise, if there is a sukoon here and there's a sukoon there, then you are stuck here. But if you give a haraka, then haraka does what? Haraka pushes the word. Haraka pushes the word letter from your mouth and join it with the upcoming letter. So you say jalasatit talibatu, jalasatit talibatu. This was an extra information. If you understood that, it's fine. Otherwise, we'll do that in future. So I hope you got that. And now we have an exercise here. So I've already told you what is meeting of two sukoon. It is called in Arabic iltaqa'u sakinain, but meeting of two sukoon, if this is the situation, then this is how you resolve. You put a kasra onto the ta to make it jalasatit talibat, right? So this is something we have done that. Here it is once again, jalasatit talibatu. Look, jalasat and a talibatu. What happened? This sukoon on ta was given a kasra, so it became like that. This is why two harakat are given. One letter can never have two harakat. Remember, either they'll have fatha damma kasra or sukoon. Here two harakat are given. Two are given just to show you that before it was jalasat like here, but then kasra was added and made it jalasatit talibatu. Alladhi. I hope you remember that, right? Allazi. We've discussed today and we've discussed in past as well. Allazi could be translated as the one who or the one which. In English, it will be translated as who or which. The one is grayed out here. You will not find it in translation. This is for our own understanding. This is for us to understand what is the meaning of Alladhi. Alladhi is meaning who, if you're talking about intelligent beings, and which, if you're talking about non-intelligent beings. Do I need to tell you what is intelligent being and what is non-intelligent being, sisters, or you remember that? Give me some heads up in the feedback box. One, if you think I should repeat. Two, if you think you already know that. Alhamdulillah, you know that. But some of you, you need to revise. I think you had a long break after exams, right? Okay, everything in the universe has been divided into two categories, intelligent beings and non-intelligent beings. So human beings, angels, and jinn includes in the category of intelligent beings. Everything else is in non-intelligent beings, whether it's house, objects like house or pen or things, or animals or plants or trees, they all come in the category of non-intelligent beings. So when you are using this word alladhi for intelligent being, the translation will be who. If you're using this word alladhi with non-intelligent being, the translation will be which. Once again, if you don't understand this and you open the Quran, sometimes you will see alladhi in English is translated as who, sometimes it's translated as which. You will think, I don't know why it is translated in two different manners where the word is same. What is alladhi called in English? It is called relative pronoun. What's the meaning of alladhi? As I told you, who for human beings, it is for your ease that we are saying human beings. Technically, you would say it is for intelligent beings, and which is used for non-intelligent beings. So alladhi, why is alladhi used? Alladhi is used to provide additional information to remove any kind of uh, uh, what you call it, ambiguity. So we have seen in today's lesson, if you talk about the male, you will use alladhi. Male singular, you will use alladhi. If you talk about singular female, you will use alladhi. Let's see one example to understand a little bit more. Alladhi is called relative pronoun. So intelligent being and non-intelligent being could have another name. Rational beings is the same thing. It's the same meaning as intelligent beings. And irrational beings means non-intelligent beings. So two words, different words for the same thing. So look at this sentence, for example. Don't look at Arabic, look at in English. If I say the man is a merchant, if this was a sentence, the man is a merchant, right? And there are 5 men in the room, and 5 men are going, 2 men are coming in and one just left. Yeah, and you are talking to your friend and you're saying the man is a merchant. What is your friend going to ask? Which man you're talking about? Who is the merchant? So you will say the man who left the room is a merchant. Another example. You are in the classroom, right? And there's one book on the floor, one book on the table, and you tell your friend the book belongs to the teacher. Maybe she was going to pick that book. The book belongs to teacher. So say, which book? So you say, the book which is on the table belongs to the teacher. So what happened? In English, you use this which and this who to make things clear. So the listener can understand that what exactly or who exactly you are talking about. This is exactly the same thing you use alladhi or allati in Arabic to make things more clear. How do you say in English, Arabic? الرجل الذي خرج من الغرفة تاجر. So الرجل is the man. Tajirun is a merchant. But you came with the word alladhi, which is called ismul mawsul. Alladhi In English, it is called relative pronoun. In Arabic, it is called ismul mawsul. So every time you will use alladhi, after alladhi, there will be some description of alladhi. There will be some detail. So if I say, for example, the man who is a merchant, it doesn't make sense. But if I say the man who left the room is a merchant, now it makes sense. If I take this information which is coming after alladhi, which is on the table, and I say the book which belongs to the teacher. Do you understand anything? No. In Arabic, if I say al-kitabu alladhi lil mudarrisi, you don't know what I'm talking about. When I use the word alladhi, it must have sentence coming after that. Alladhi alal maktabi, which is on the table. Alladhi, first sentence, kharaja min al-ghurfati, who left from the room. So I hope it is clear, sisters. We'll do that inshallah in future lessons, and you'll get more and more with the practice. You'll understand. In the Quran, you will find alladhi, allati, and what's the plural of alladhi? Who can tell me? Ya ayyuhalladhina aman. The plural for alladhi is alladhina. You will find that in the Quran in so many places. So this is a small exercise which will help you understand. You have to just read this exercise now to understand. Read the following sentence. Who is the young boy? Now, man al fata means who is the young boy. Alladhi, who kharaja min baytika al-ana, left from your house right now. Now, why have I added the one here? Because if I don't add the one here, then you or any other student can get confused that this man means who, how this alladhi means who as well. Alladhi actually means who, but the proper way is the one, not the who as in question, right? I hope it is making sense. In the future lessons, things will get more clear, inshallah. So now it was the question was, who is the young boy? Now, which young boy you are asking about? So that's why the person is making clear the one who is the young boy, the one who left from your house right now. Maybe there are 3 boys in the house as well. So he's making clear, the questioner is asking and making things clear that he is asking question about which person? Who? The one who left from the house, not the one who is sitting on the dining table right now. So the answer is Huwa ibnu ammi. He is son of my uncle. Next is now allati is being used. Why? Because al-fata means young boy. Al-fatatu is young girl. So for the girl, allati will be used. You cannot say manil fatatu ladhi. You must say manil fatatu lati, because that means for female. You see, in English, you don't have any change. It's just who. No distinction in male or female. But in Arabic, you will find such a fine language, such a rich language. You will find distinction for male and female. Who is this young girl, the one who left from your house right now, O Muhammad? So the answer is Hiya bintu khalati. She is daughter of my maternal aunt. Liman al-miftahu alladhi ala al-maktabi. To who belongs the key, the one which is on the desk? It is for the teacher. Now, I'm repeating myself, I know, but I just want you to understand fully. I want to make sure that you understand. Inshallah, you'll understand. If I say, to who belongs the key? How do you know which key I'm talking about? Maybe there's one key in the keyhole, one is on the table, one is on the bed, one is in my hand. So I have to make it clear, right? If I'm asking a question, then which key I'm talking about. So I'm saying, I'm using the word alladhi. Liman al-mifta, to who belongs the key? Which alladhi, which is on the desk, alal maktab. You see, you are getting the point, sisters, why it is being used. So you remember one thing now, just one thing now. Alladhi, allati, any of the relative pronoun will come, it will be followed by a sentence. It will be followed by something which will make things, which will be related to this alladhi, which will make things more clearer, right? Like in this case, alladhi, after alladhi is coming alal maktab. In English, the transition is which is on the desk, which is on the desk, right? Huwa lil mudarrisi, it is for the teacher. Liman is-sa'ati allati ala sariri. Hiya li zawji ukhti. To who belongs the watch, the one which is on the bed? It belongs to husband of my sister. Now, allati is used. Why? Because what we are talking about is a sa'a. A sa'atu is what is a watch ending on tamar. It's a feminine word. So relative pronoun, you will use ismul mawsul, you will use feminine. Here, al-miftahu, was masculine. There was no ta marbuta. So you used alladhi, right? What's the translation to who belongs the watch? The one which is on the bed. It belongs to husband of my sister. Another thing, we already discussed that, we already know that, but just for a repetition, here, when we talk about the key, is the word is used huwa. We've seen huwa is used for human beings. Huwa tabibun, he is a doctor. But we said earlier, huwa can be used for things as well if those things are masculine. And hiya can be used for feminine. Hiya tabibatun, she is a doctor, but hiya can also be used for things if those things are feminine. How do we differentiate between masculine and feminine? If the word is ending with the ta marbuta, the word is feminine. If it's no ta marbuta, then it is not feminine. There are some exceptions we've seen in past. We'll deal inshallah in future lessons. So now here, complete the following questions by putting suitable relative pronoun. Now, you want to say the book which is on the desk is for the teacher. What will you put here, sister? Al-kitab alladhi or alladhi? Sisters, let me request you one thing. I know some of you are feeling overwhelmed. Some of you are feeling, oh, this is too much information coming. It is not too much information. Just take the things the way they are coming. If you don't understand a thing, no problem. Stay in the class. When I ask you Al-Kitab, what should become after Alladhi or Allati? Only thing, okay, Al-Kitab is Mudhakkar, is masculine. We have two choices, Alladhi and Allati. What does my mind think? Guess anything. Even it's okay if you say allati, because when you will be corrected is alladhi, your mind will register, oh, it's alladhi. Why? Because the word before that is masculine, so we use alladhi. If it was feminine, you would have used allati. Sisters, those of you who are learning it for the first time, please understand, sisters, it is not possible for any subject, anything that you come to the class, listen to a slide, listen to the topic, 5 minutes discussion, and you understand everything. If that was the case, then all of us would just pick up the books of medicine and will sit in one sitting, finish all the books for all the years of medical school in maybe 10 days, and will become doctor in 10 days. Does it work like that? No, it takes time for things to sink in. So, my sisters, please, I'm respecting you. Don't listen to this waswas. Shaitan is just, I know, whispering all over, oh, so difficult, I can't do that, it's difficult, oh, I'm old, I'm young, I have this, I've got that. No, you are doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are doing it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What if you don't understand Arabic language? What if you don't learn anything? But you are trying. You are here to learn the language of the Quran, to understand the deen. You understood at the end of the day, you did not understand at the end of the day, but you did your effort, and this is what it counts, sisters. I hope you are getting what I'm saying, sisters. Okay, so Al-Kitab, we saw Al-Kitab Alladhi will come. What will happen for Al-Qalam? Same thing. Al-Qalam Alladhi, the pen which is in the bag is broken, right? Alladhi. What will we do for As-Sayyara? The car which left from the hospital right now is for the new doctor. What will we use? Alladhi or Allati? The car which left from the hospital right now belongs to the new doctor. Allati. Why? Because the Sayyara is feminine. So alladhi and alladhi. This is all I want you to learn, sisters. Khalas, I'll not take you too much of your time. You can do that in your own time. You understood the exercise. Alladhi will be used for masculine. Allati will be used for feminine. You will get everything, all of this, inshallah, in your resource pack. So there are no problems with that. And these are the new words here, right? Akhul ab, parental uncle, brother of the father. Al-Khalu is maternal uncle, brother of the mother. Al-Fallahu is the farmer. Al-Ammatu is paternal aunt. Ukhtul Abi. Al-Khalatu Ukhtul Ummi. Mustashfa al-Wilada is the maternity hospital. So this is what we have seen already. There's really nothing new. We have seen that. I hope you understood that. I made you clear. I'll just tell you one more thing and we'll end the class. Remember, I told you every verb, every action must have a doer, and you will see the doer. But in some cases, doer is hidden. You cannot see, your eyes cannot see, but your mind can see. When can this happen? That happens only in two situations. When the doer is a singular masculine third person. So I say kataba, I say he wrote. What is he? If you have to define he, what is he? What kind of pronoun is he? He is a pronoun which represents a singular. He is a pronoun which represents a male. He is a pronoun which represents a third person, the person which is not present. Correct? Everybody with me? What does he mean? He means I'm talking about somebody masculine. He means I'm talking about somebody third person, right? He means I'm talking about somebody singular. I'm not saying they, he is singular. I'm not saying you, it means you is your present in front of him, but he is the third person. I'm not saying she, it means I'm not talking about the female, I'm talking about the male. So this situation where the doer is hidden, you cannot see, your eyes cannot see, but your mind can see, only happens in two situations. Let's come here. When the doer is one single male, third person, or when the doer is one single female, third person. Only then you will not see any doer. Rest of the time, doer will be mentioned by the name, or doer will be mentioned by the pronoun, because pronouns are just like names, right? I hope it is clear, and inshallah, we will do that in future lessons. Just remember, verb must have a doer. Verb cannot be without a doer. Sometimes we can see the doer, sometimes we cannot see the doer. It doesn't mean it is not there, and this is the explanation for the dhahaba in kharaja. But we see dhahaba hamidu, dhahaba tullabu, dhahaba al-mudarrisuna. We can see every time some doer is there. Hamid is the doer. We can see 1% there. Tullab, we can see many students are going to, they went to the madrasa. And we see dhahaba al-mudarrisuna, many teachers went to the masjid. So I hope it is clear. You must remember this thing. This is important. So what is hidden doer? Doer is hidden when your eyes cannot see the doer, but your mind can see. And in Arabic, that is called mustatir, or in English, you could say the doer is hidden, hidden doer. So remember, if in the test this answer comes dhahaba or kharaja or kataba, where is the doer? Who is the doer? You will say doer is the hidden. But if the test question is dhahaba hamidun ila al-madrasati, who is the doer? You will say Hamid is the doer, right? I hope you know that. One last thing before we end, always remember, doer will always be marfu. Doer will always be marfu, either with the tanween or with the single haraka. Because of the alif lam, it cannot be tullabun, so it's tullabu, singular, hamidun, right? I hope you are getting that. So this is the summary of the lesson. We have studied relative pronoun, and we have seen that how relative pronouns works. We've seen this slide before that. This is something you will get into your resource pack, so you can practice more. One last thing, look here in this surah, when Allah, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas. This is about who? Jinn. Wallahu alam, who whispers evil into the breast of mankind, right? This is in the surah. Alladhi is translated as who. Why? Because we said alladhi will be translated as who when it is about intelligent being. What is intelligent being? Human beings, malaika, and jinnat. So here's the jinn. So in English, it's translated as who. Here once again, alladhi jama'a malan wa addada, who collects wealth and continuously counts it. A'udhu billahi min dhalik. And look at this third example. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. So alladhi is used here. Alladhi is used in above examples as well, where it translates who. Here, look at the translation. The month of Ramadan is that in which was revealed the Quran. Why alladhi is translated as which? Because the month is not human being, is not angel, is not jinn, so it is an the non-intelligent thing, right? So non-intelligent thing, the alladhi will be translated as which. If it is for intelligent being, it will be translated as who. I hope you are getting the sisters. And this is just to provide the accurate detail, more detail. I hope you understood that. This is the slide we've done before as well. So alladhi is used for masculine, allati is used for feminine, and alladhina is used for plural relative pronoun. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Oh, those who believed. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us more. So I hope it is clear. This is once again what I've already said to you, that you know what is the two pillars of the verb sentence, fail and fa'il, right? Verb means fail, and the doer of the action in Arabic is called fa'il. Pronouns can also come as the doer of the action as the names, because names, when we use pronoun as we said in the beginning of the lesson, when we don't want to repeat the name. So here I'm saying Zahaba Hamid, right? But if I don't want to say, because maybe I spoke about Hamid, maybe I said Hamid was sitting here, Hamid came here, he was tired, and blah, 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 and Zahab. ذهب حامد إلى المدرسة. I'll not say ذهب حامد. I may say only ذهب. Like in English, I say Hamid came and he said, look, no, let me just change it. Hamid came, Hamid ate with me, then he left. So I use he, I did not use the word Hamid again, right? So here, Hamid went to the school, Hamid is mentioned here. But maybe there'll be a situation when Hamid is not mentioned there. So what will we say? ذهب إلى المدرسة. So here is the pronoun. These are the pronouns. For example, the last thing. If I want to say the teachers went to the masjid, ذهب المدرسون إلى المسجد. That now I want to talk about teachers using the pronoun. What pronoun will I use? I'll use the pronoun for they. I'll say ذهبوا إلى المسجد. ذهبوا إلى المسجد. They went to the masjid. But don't worry, we will repeat these slides, so you don't have to worry about that. I just wanted to tell you was that the he, when you say he left, he ate, he went, you will not find any doer in that, but the doer will be present in the form of pronouns in other cases. I know it is a little bit thaqeel, a little bit heavy for now, but we will repeat that. I promise, inshallah, we will repeat that many, many times. Don't worry about it. Right? So we'll end the class now, dear sisters. Bad habit, I always try to give you more and more information. But the reason for that is that when you actually come across this information, you don't find it strange, because when these things will come, we'll discuss that in detail. Right now, I just want you to have something in your mind that, oh, you see, I've seen something. Because you see, human beings are curious. You perhaps will do some research on the internet. Perhaps when you'll see something else, your mind will register, I have seen something like this. You'll become curious. The best way to learn is when you are curious. When you're curious, you learn better. Whatever is being told to you, you are absorbing it much, much better if you are curious compared to when you're not curious. So looking at all these things sometimes make you feel this is too much, but at the same time, you feel curious about these things. And then when these things will show up, inshallah, you will feel that, okay, oh yeah, I was looking for this answer and now I'm ready for this explanation, so let me take it. So we'll end the class here, sisters. I'm once again sorry for elongating the class, but I hope you understand. We have to finish the chapters, we have to finish the book. You will have the recording, so you can go through the recording once again many times, as many times as you want. Inshallah, we'll be keep repeating that in future lessons, and I'll try to post some kind of bite-sized video as well to make things more clearer. Jazakumullah khairan. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.